Okay, so Mike, we have two new real estate agents with EXP, Tony and Daria. Daria just had a birthday and she just got her license, so she's like still got milk behind the ears. Tony
Ah,
is Tony is a couple of weeks older,
oh, a veteran.
so her
Yeah,
milk is a little
hardly.
dried up. It's still there, but it's a little dried up.
Happy
I
belated
got you.
birthday, Daria.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, happy birthday. That's awesome.
Yeah, I got my license right before my birthday, which was October 7th. That was my goal to become licensed. And then, yeah, I decided to join EXP because I heard great things. And so happy to be a part of it.
Oh, good. Good. What did you do before that?
Well, I am still currently a full-time recruiter. So I do that as my full-time job, but then I wanted to do real estate on the side because I'm originally from Chicago, just like Vanda. And so when I moved here, I heard all about, one of my neighbors is actually a realtor and she's like, oh my goodness, like the housing market is really good right now. You should maybe think about it. And so I decided to, join it because I'm a people person and like meeting new people. So I said, why not? This would be a great opportunity for me to meet people like in the Houston area.
All right. Well, good. All right. So Vanda, thanks a lot for inviting me. I know you and Tony were both on that class the other day, the Facebook ads class, which got off to a kind of a weird start with the technology, but
It did, but we hung in there.
yeah, and I appreciate that. And his stuff is so good. We're gonna do it again in December, but we can talk about that closer to that date. So, all right. So let me give you guys a little bit about me. So I'm Mike Snyder. I am the sales rep for First American Title in Katy. We also have a Fulshire office opening soon, but we also have about 15 offices around town, from Conroe down to League City. We're the furthest west. There's Woodlands, Pearland, Post Oak will be in the Heights pretty soon. So we're all over town, and we have some great resources for agents. So I mentioned this on the call the other day. I have two goals. One of them is to make agents better agents. And some of that we do by offering classes or also by just providing material. Whether it's something I come across or I'm always studying the industry. I subscribe to the blogs. I read the newsletters. I watch the videos, all that stuff. So I'm always here to answer questions for our clients and for our prospects. So be a better agent. And the other thing is I want to help you grow your business. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say you probably won't hear that from many other title companies, but that is my goal, is to help you grow your business. So today we're going to take just a little bit of time. I want to show you some things that some of the resources that First American has that helps newer agents kind of start their business, start developing their business. But I don't totally want to make it this isn't a First American Title commercial, okay? Yes, we want to work with you guys, but I don't want you to feel like you're fixing to log into an hour-long infomercial. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that aren't ours that I want you to be aware of that will help you with your business. So why don't we, and I really want this to be interactive as much as possible. So hit the chat, man, interrupt me with questions, go back and look at something else. Mike, can you talk about this in particular? Because I really do want to help you guys out.
So Mike, I have a question,
Okay.
not about
So
what you're talking about today, but at that Facebook Facebook session, the guy said he was going to send you something and you were going to send it out to the attendees. Did you do that yet? Did I miss it?
I did not send it out, but I will send. I'm taking a note now.
Okay.
I will hit him up, and that's what I will, and I'll get that back out to you.
Thank you.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. Are you guys seeing a map and you're seeing my mouse move around the
Yep.
screen?
Looking good.
Okay,
I see
cool.
my house.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm right off of 99.
well,
in
if I
Heritage
pull it up,
Square.
oh, well, I live right down the street from you. I'm at the corner of Peak and Highland Knolls.
Oh my goodness.
So we're super close.
I'm right behind Cimarron.
Yeah, you're
Elementary
here.
School.
Oh yeah, yeah. I am literally at the corner. I have the brick wall at Peak and Highland Knolls.
I probably passed your house many
So
times.
yeah, I bet you have. I bet
when
you
I
have.
walk. Because I walk.
Anytime you
there
see,
sometimes.
well, anytime you see the ivy growing over that back brick wall, feel free to cut it. And if you're just walking by, just trim it if you don't mind.
I don't walk with scissors with me.
Probably a good idea. Probably a good idea. Okay. So what we're looking at is My First AM. So My First AM is it's a free tool from First American Title. It's available on your desktop, which we're looking at now. It's also available as an app. So the features that we have on here, you can access from your phone when you're out with prospects and clients and you need some information pretty quickly. So really over here on this side over here, you see mine says view demo orders. Yours would say view orders if you had some orders with us. And I think you can have up to 300 at a time in there. So I really want to encourage you to try to reach 300 in there at a time. But you can see kind of what the progress of your order is. Who are the parties involved with it? Buyer, seller, buyer's agent, seller's agent. Who's the escrow officer? What documents are we waiting for? What documents have been uploaded? And just kind of milestones, like a pizza tracker. You know, oh, your pizza's being made, your pizza's in the car, your pizza's on its way, pizza has arrived. There's just some little check marks that give you an idea of where your order is. So that's pretty nice. Property search, we can get into some details on these properties. Farming, so which is kind of what we're going to look at here. First off, it's just prospecting. So farming, meaning we're going to find some prospects. We're going to, those are your little seeds. We're going to nurture them with some marketing and then try to grow those into business. And the fruit of that is contracts and commission checks, which I'm happy to deliver to you guys.
Woohoo.
That's right. And then we have a calculator called Cost First. It's a very accurate net sheet calculator. So what that does is you put in the price of the house. We calculate what the taxes are. We calculate what our fees are going to be, what the commissions are, any costs associated with the transaction. And then you print that out and you take it to your client and you say, hey, this is a net sheet, meaning this is the amount of money you're going to net after the sale of your house. And this is how much you're going to walk away with. And then, and you can do a couple other nice things with it, but we may take a quick peek at that. Anniversary reminder. So you can set a reminder to say, I sold them in this house October 28th. Set up a reminder in 6 months or a year so that you're reminded to contact them. Okay, now I'm going to jump in here real quick. Well, I guess I can jump in. I'm the one talking. Something like 88% of customers say they would use their realtor again, whoever they bought a house with or sold it with, but only 12% actually do. The number one reason for that is you sell them a house and you leave them alone and you lose contact and you never stay in touch with them, or you help them buy a home and you never stay in touch with them. So yeah, they liked you. Yeah, they gave you a 5-star review, but it's 5 years later, they need to buy a house and they've got another friend that recommended somebody or someone else has been calling on them. So these little anniversary reminders will help you stay out of that only 12% that gets repeat business and puts you up into the 88% of the people that say they will do repeat business with you. And then just a couple other links over here, but I don't want to spend too much time on that. Okay, so I'm going to look at farming. So what we're doing here is we're prospecting. So that's a huge thing for you guys is prospecting. So I'm going to pull up our little prospecting screen here. Eventually. I opened about 6 tabs all at once to show you guys. Maybe I should have just done them one by one. Okay, here we go. So up here, you'll see we have the search. We have an advanced search. This is where you can search by people's names, by a county, by zip codes, and you can save your farms or your prospecting lists. So this is a free tool. It does have some limitations. One of them is you can search, you're limited to 999 properties at a time. So if you're searching a subdivision and your farm or your prospecting list exceeds 999, you may have to break it up to be something like Heritage Square 1, Heritage Square 2, or Heritage Square West, Heritage Square East, something to name it and identify it as your farms. Okay, over here on the left, we got a little peg man, just like in Google Maps. You can drag him onto the street and get a street view. We can zoom in or out here. If I zoom out too far, you will see that our little icons over here get grayed out. It means we're too far. We need to zoom in until where these are dark. Okay, map layers. And I'm going to sign you guys up for this. I'll get you accounts for My First Dam. Satellite view or no satellite view. I like the satellite view, so I'll keep it here. If you took it off satellite, it would just be like a two-dimensional map. But I can put the street number. If I click street number or owner name, it's going to put that information on every rooftop. It kind of gets in the way unless you're really looking for something specific and you don't have the address, but you're like, hey, I know it's 22603, but I don't see exactly where that is. This is this is the same street. Let me find out which house is 22603. But here's the important part. We can use this tool to look for sellers. We can look for buyers, and we can also look for investors. Today, on this little session right here, I just want to show you how to find listings. We're gonna look for some sellers. The old saying in the business is those that list last. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna look for listings, but not everybody likes them. Some people want sellers. Some people want buyers only, but we're gonna look for some sellers. Okay, don't think of this as a training session, just an overview. So I might not show you how to do everything all at once, but I can come in here and I can say, show me all the residences that sold any number of months back, and just leave it at that. I can do a freehand drawing tool or a radius tool, and I'm going to select an area. So let's say I want to know, is this neighborhood even a good neighborhood for doing some prospecting? I'm going to circle that area. Remember, I've got those filters. Show me all the houses that sold any number of months previously. And this is pulling information from public information. We just have the resources to put it all together and then offer it to you guys. So while it pulls that, we want to see how many houses have sold recently in this neighborhood. This will tell us if it's a good one to go after. So we're looking at turnover in the last 12 months. We want to see numbers like 6 or 7 or 8% turnover. If you see 4 or 5, that's okay. If we see 3% or 2%, that's not a good neighborhood to go farming in. unless it's the neighborhood you live in and you need to be kind of the queen of that neighborhood.
Yeah, I want to do my neighborhood.
Okay. Man, this is really taking a while to pull up.
After you sign me up, I'll do mine. And
All right, I'm going to sign you
I
guys
signed
up.
I thought I had signed up with First American on Memorial like a couple of years ago, but I don't.
You may have.
I think that person's gone, and I don't know.
Okay, yeah, you may have, but I can check and we'll make sure everybody's set up. I'll just need name, phone number, email address is really all I need. Wow, this is really, I didn't even circle that big of an area, I didn't think.
And Mike, I'm sorry, did you say you should look for at least 6% turnover?
Yeah, we really want 6, 7, or 8%.
Gotcha.
That means that's a good neighborhood to go after.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you see, in fact, I think I'm in there right now. I was going to say, if you see something like 25%, that's probably like Canyon Gate after Harvey, because everybody was selling houses in there. And I think I actually did circle some houses in Canyon Gate. All right, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be impatient guy. I'm going to stop that and show you something a little bit different here.
Now Tony was interested in what was it, Tony? Absentee owners.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to, let's see here.
Because like I was doing some digging, like
Yeah.
when was it? Like the other week or 2 weeks ago, I kind of had this like trial, this like software.
Yeah.
And I was actually, to tell you the truth, I was kind of shocked because I was like looking in like my neighborhood and then like the neighborhood that's just like on the other side of the freeway from us.
Yeah.
And it was like 65% renters, which like floored me. I was like, oh my gosh. I was just like, I had no idea it had that high of a percentage of ownership. And I was kind of looking at, you know, the filters I was choosing were, you know, non-occupied, you know, owners.
So I'm going to see if this is going to help us out here. Me closing some of these.
So I was like, ooh, maybe I can get these people who are renting in this neighborhood to just bite the bullet and buy this neighborhood.
Yeah. So we can identify the renters, you know, in the neighborhood, and then you can take a certain message to those households. Mm-hmm. The other thing is when we identify the renters, most of the time we can start identifying investors. Mm-hmm. Because we can look and see who owns that house. We're not going to be able to see who the renters are, but we can see who the owners of the house are. And then we can go back into our tool here and say, well, show me all the houses that Tony Neese owns, Harris County. And we'll be able to see, wow, you know, she owned 1 in this neighborhood, but she owns 12 in Harris County. Yeah, that's an investor. And that's somebody I'm going to go to with a message that might say something like, hey, how do you identify the houses that you purchase? If I come across a house like that, would you be interested in me presenting it to you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because our neighborhood has like a little like Facebook group, and somebody posted something about a lady in our neighborhood. Like, I guess there was like, I don't know, a car parked weirdly or something like that. And people were like, hey, you know, who owns this house or whatever. And so somebody posted, it was some lady named Trina or whatever. And they're like, yeah, she owns a bunch of houses in the neighborhood. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah. And so I like did some digging, and yeah, sure enough, I found she owns like 7 houses in the neighborhood. And I was like, holy.
Yeah.
I was like, and I guess she rents them all out. But as I was digging, like it was her name, and then I started digging a little deeper, and then I found where she was like incorporated like under a business name.
So that's when you know you have found the savvy investors, because it won't say something like It won't say the owner is Michael Snyder.
Uh-huh.
It'll say the owner is MJS Interests
Mm-hmm.
or MJS LLC. And
Yeah.
that's when you know you've got some savvy investors. So let me come back over here real quick. I'm going to hit residential. And what we're looking at here is last sale date. So I'm going to pick months back, any number of months back, and I can choose right here. Show me the owner occupied, show me non-owner occupied, or show me both. If I'm looking for listings,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's owner occupied or not. The other thing I can see here is if I'm looking for motivated sellers, I want to go back 5 to 7 years. So I can say, show me the last sale date
Mm-hmm.
was October 1st, 2013 to October 29th, 2015. That's 5 to 7 years ago. Show me owner occupied or non-owner occupied. I'm going to apply the filter. Whoops.
Yeah, that didn't change to 2020. There it goes.
And you guys are going to be teaching this before long. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to pick a little area right here. And maybe this will pull up our list real quick. Okay, here we go. So it pulls up this list right here. You'll see, look, in this tiny little area that I circled, 3 houses sold 5 to 7 years ago. Okay. So instead of you marketing to all 50 houses right here and spending $1 on your marketing efforts or whatever,
Right.
I just reduced that to $3
Mm-hmm.
or to 3 people. And we're being kind of smart about who we are marketing to. So I can see, Jeff Singer owns this house right here. And if I click on this link, I can go see some information. When did he buy it? Property characteristics, transaction profiles over the last 10 years. It's pretty nice.
Why is 1 blue and 2 green?
That's a good question. So the green, owner occupied.
Ah.
Blue is non-owner occupied. And the way to remember is B, blue, B, buyers. Those are your buyers. Those are the people you're going to go to say, let me go back to my whole list here. Those are the people non-owner occupied. Blue is your buyer. You're going to take your message to them. Is it time to buy a house?
Oh, okay.
Your rent versus own message, whatever that message is.
Okay.
So y'all, I have a really stupid question, but I was always kind of curious about it. How do you, like, how does, I know it's all from public records, but how do you know that a house is not being owner occupied and it's being occupied by renters? I'm imagining probably homestead exemption, how it's claimed, but how do they figure that out and that it's not just vacant?
So the way our system does it, and the way pretty much every system does this, is 2 addresses are generated. One is the site address. So let's see.
Like 123 Main Street.
So 20218 Black Canyon Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I clicked on that and I pulled out the property profile, I would see that the mailing address might be in Chicago.
Right.
A different. So when there's when the physical address or the site address is different than the mailing address,
Mm-hmm.
that's how we identify non-owner occupied.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
how is there a way to, or how is it determined that there's renters in there or it's just vacant?
There's not.
Oh, okay.
So there might be some services that you can pay a lot for monthly to find vacant homes, but you would probably just have to drive by.
Right. Yeah. And see if there's like a car.
And there's really no guarantee. Maybe mom and dad bought this house for their kid, or vice versa. But for the most part, you can feel pretty certain that this is a renter.
Yeah.
in a house. Now, if you go find a neighborhood where it's rental, 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 owner occupied, rental, rental, rental,
Uh-huh.
you know who I'm calling on? I'm calling on the guy that owns the house in between 6 renters. Not every renter is bad. I have the house 3 doors down from me. It's 3 guys that just moved up here from Brazil. They speak Portuguese and they're helping a little church with their Portuguese ministry. They are great neighbors. And a lot of renters take care of a house, but some don't. So if you went and found an older neighborhood
Yeah.
where the people have lived there 12 or 15 years, that street's not what it used to be, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That neighborhood's not what it used to be. And your message is it time to get out? I mean, that's not literally your message.
Right. No, understood. Right. There's a
That's-
better way to couch that, but that's
Right.
sort of like the idea.
Right. So I don't want to spend a whole lot more time on this. I just wanted to show you, we can help you see.
Mm-hmm.
And you end up with an Excel spreadsheet that you can load into your CRM. You can load it into another tool I'll show you in a minute to get your phone numbers and email addresses. Because in this tool, you get addresses and names, no phone numbers or email addresses. Remember, it's free.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to move on to something else. Is there anything else, any questions on my first am?
I just wanted to ask, so according to this would not be a good area to prospect since there's only 3.
Okay, that's a good question. So if you remember, we applied filters.
Mm-hmm.
So this shows the houses that sold 5 to 7 years ago. So none of them are going to be recent because that goes back 1 year. So if I go to any number of months back, okay, and I hit apply, it's going to say, show me all the houses in this area that I circled that have sold at any time. But then it's going to show me how many of them have sold recently.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it pulls that up, we'll take a look. I'm glad you asked that question, Darren.
And what does the blue marker mean again?
Blue is buyers. Those are non-owner occupied. Those are your renters.
Oh, blue means renters. Okay.
Blue means renters. Okay. In this area that I circled, I circled 45 properties.
Yep.
9% of them have sold within the last year.
Oh, that is a good area.
That is a good area. So when I don't have, because it goes back 12 months, once I went, show me the ones 5 to 7, none of them are going to be recently sold because they sold at least 5 years ago.
Yep.
So when your filter says last sale date, any number of months back, that's how you're going to find out, is this a good neighborhood for me to farm? So then what we did is we went just in this little circle, we went from 45 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And that's huge. That's huge for new agents with small budgets.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other questions on this? And then I'll move ahead.
No, this is awesome, Mike.
Okay, good. Thank you. And I am happy to sit down with you again individually and go over this and do more of a training than it is an overview. All right. Next thing I want to show you is cost first. Let this pull. This is our net sheet calculator. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna change course here. I want to show you one other. At least I want to discuss another prospecting tool. This is not a First American tool. This is called REI Source. Now I can set you up on this, and if you let me do it, you will get a discount on what you buy from them because there are fees involved. We use, or you're going to use REI Source when you want to get extremely tactical and strategic about prospecting. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to create my own. we're not going to spend hardly any time here. I just want you to see, as long as it cooperates here. And if it doesn't, I'll skip it, but I'll still sign you up. So REI source. Again, this is public information here. But I can choose a geography as small as one street. Show me all the people with these characteristics on a single street. Show me an entire county, a zip code. Show me the entire state, all the people that meet these criteria across the state. So the criteria are things like this. Show me all the 2-story houses in this zip code that are more than 4,000 square feet. The people have lived there 5 to 7 years. They have more than 30% equity. They're over 60 years old. I mean, right there, I just built an empty nester list for you. Those are the people that probably don't want to live in a big old 2-story anymore. It's time for them to downsize a little bit. But there are additional filters in REI source. Things like, okay, well, show me the people that have a pool. Show me the people that speak Vietnamese. Oh, my internet connection is unstable. That's odd. Show me the people that have an interest in gambling, that subscribe to sports magazines, that have a credit card, that have a college education, that are doctors that make over $250,000 a year, that are single. That's how we use REI source. And we can talk about some strategies for why you would do that amount of prospecting and why you would want to dig that deep and how you use that information. And those leads will cost you anywhere from like 9 to 14 cents a piece, kind of depending on which criteria you use. So that
So
REI.
Mike, I'm interested in that because my daughter places seniors in senior facilities. So that would be a good marketing tool for me to share with her. And of course, if they want to sell their house, I'd be available for that.
Absolutely. So I have to pick a geography first. So you see all the different options here. If I picked zip plus radius, I pick 77450 plus a mile. I add it. There's 5,403 households that meet my criteria right now. And I come over here to property. How many bathrooms, bedrooms? How much equity do they have? Where'd that go? How much equity do they have? When did it last sell? Or when did it last sell? How many stories? When was it built? Demographics, age, education, ethnicity, language. I mean, there's so much information in here, guys. It's not even funny. And you can really build a very tactical list that you market to. But again, this one is also addresses and names. There are no email addresses or phone numbers, but I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you how to find that super cheap.
There's a way to get it, isn't it?
There is. I want you to write down datafinder.com. This is not a First American tool. I told you I'm not going to make a commercial. I'm trying to help you with your business.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Datafinder.com. I'm going to come over here to the consumer append estimator just because it kind of shows all the things that they have in one place. Okay, we've done our prospecting in My First Am or REI source or some other resource, and you've got an Excel spreadsheet. I can upload that spreadsheet into a place like datafinder.com. I'm going to have to start doing this at home. Usually you do this. Okay, here we go. I can upload that list at datafinder.com and I can get email addresses for 6 cents a piece. Now, their match rate is 38%. So if I put 100 addresses in or 100 addresses in there, they're going to find me about 38 email addresses. And you're only going to pay 6 cents each for those 38 email addresses. They're not going to charge you for 100. They're going to charge you for the 38.
However many they match.
Yep. 4 cents for phone numbers, 71% match rate.
Oh, wow.
Social media profiles, Facebook name, Facebook profile URL, Facebook ID. Man, so we take those 45 houses. What if we expanded it? It's 450 and we narrowed it down to 50. Man, we can start creating custom audiences for Facebook ads and stuff like that here. Now, I think when I look okay, yeah, upload your file today and receive a free match report. They're doing your first 1,000 for free.
Oh, wow.
I told you, man, I'm sensitive to your budgets. So I wouldn't go and take advantage of my free report if I only had 200.
Mm-hmm.
And I would do some serious prospecting and I would load 1,000 of them in there and see how many I hit on. But even then, your estimated price for the minimum, which is something like 1,000, is $99.
Wow.
Okay. So yeah, so $9.99 is a $99 minimum. Oops. So anyway, datafinder.com is a fairly inexpensive way to go find emails and phone numbers if that's something that you don't have.
That's pretty awesome.
Interesting.
It is pretty awesome. Okay. You do your prospecting, you find the addresses, you find emails, you find phone numbers. Those lists are not going to market to themselves. Okay. You have to make the phone calls. Part of your job responsibilities is sales. I don't know if you've ever had sales jobs before, but you have a sales job now. At least you have sales responsibilities now. And by the way, I teach a really cool class on sales skills, and Vanda will talk about that later. But First American has a pretty cool resource called FA Print. It's about to be totally upgraded, and it's going to look a lot like Vistaprint pretty soon. This is where you can come. You want to create a postcard for a direct mailing to those 3 houses instead of the 45. You can create a postcard. You want to create door hangers, flyers, brochures, thank you cards, holiday cards, Thanksgiving cards, Christmas cards that say Merry Christmas, Christmas cards that say Happy Holidays, cards that say whatever. And if you're good at designing your own cards, you can upload your own. And guys, this stuff is cheap. I shouldn't say cheap. It's inexpensive. So you get a new listing and you want a nice new listing flyer for your listing. Let's see. I'm going to go choose your headline. FA Print is full of templates for you to create your flyers. So I'm going to show you one. I'm going to show you a double-sided one. We're going to go look at the expensive one. All right. The most expensive one we got for a flyer.
Now, is it better than Breakthrough Broker?
I was doing some price comparisons. I haven't seen what Breakthrough Brokers prices are, and I know they just rolled that out here not too long ago. So our double-sided flyers are 20 cents each, and there's no minimums.
Oh.
How does that compare to? That's double-sided. A single-sided flyer is 14 cents. And that's on glossy paper. And that includes the design, the printing for 14 cents.
Well, Breakthrough Broker, I just print it at home. And of course, I don't use that fancy paper.
Yeah. So all you have to do is you choose your background color. You choose your font. You upload your property photos, information about the property. Then you upload your own bio picture, all your contact information, and it creates a great looking flyer. And it's uploading the preview over here. So here's the preview. We have some headlines already created, like just listed, just sold, new on the market, open house, whatever. And you just start creating your flyer front and back. Man, there's room for text. You can copy your MLS listing description and put it on here and all that stuff for 14 cents a piece on these flyers. If you got the like heavy cardstock printed on both sides and UV coated and all the bells and whistles, then they're 31 cents a piece. But most people just get the regular old glossy flyer paper and spend 14 cents a piece for one side or 20 for two side. And right now, in the middle of all the Corona stuff, shipping is free to your house. Otherwise, you might have to pay a little bit for shipping, or if you have it shipped to my office, there's no charge for shipping. And I just call you, text you, whatever, say, hey, your stuff arrived. You want to meet somewhere? You want me to drop it off? You want to come by? If you're out and about, come pick it up. And I'm just going to show you real quick here. Again, this is more of a demo than a training. I just want you to see what we have. Flyers, postcards, brochures, door hangers, folding cards, labels, calendars. I mean, it's a ton of stuff.
And Mike, you'll do the mailing too, or Fop Print will do the mailing as well?
Yeah, so if we look at the jumbo postcards, so those are the bigger ones, the design, the print, the postage, and the mailing.
Wow.
For standard mail, meaning it'll arrive in the mailbox within 24 days. Now, that's something you would use if you were sending out summer grilling tips or summer or water safety or Halloween safety tips. Something that's not real time sensitive for 56 cents each. For 56 cents, the design, the print, the postage, the mailing, everything for 56 cents. That's the jumbo cards. If you want first class, meaning it arrives in mailboxes within 8 days, that's something more time sensitive. Open house, just listed, just sold, 70 cents a piece.
Wow.
And there's no minimum. You can send it to those 3 houses we picked if you wanted to.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Okay, let's see. We're 12:45. You guys doing all right? I got one other thing I want to show you.
Yeah, this is amazing.
All right, I like to hear that. And I'm being serious when I tell you guys I want to help you. I want your, and all I ask in return, I want to help you grow your business. All I ask in return is just help me grow mine. That's it. Okay, I'm going to show you Realtor. This is not a First American tool. I'm going to log in here. Realtor allows you to create virtual tours and e-flyers. Those are the 2 things I would suggest that you use Realtor for. Okay, I'm going to click on, let's see, 1240. I'm going to click on virtual tours. Let's find one that we were working on here. All right, let's go to this one. In progress. Edit the tour. So there is a fee for this. You get a 25% discount if we sign you up, and I will sign you up for that. So I'm signing you guys up for My First Am. I will sign you up for FA Print, Realtor, and REI Source. You'll have access to all those things by tomorrow.
Oh, you're awesome.
So you're welcome. So I put my property characteristics in here, maybe my description from the MLS right here. I mean, I just start uploading photos. I start uploading photos. Here we go. I can upload photos, a map, floor plans. I can add music. When I do the floor plan, let's see. When I do a floor plan, I can upload it. Then I can drag the photos. So if this is the living room, I can drag the living room photo right here, master bedroom right there, kitchen, living room, secondary bedroom, office, whatever it is. And as people look at my virtual tour, they can click on the floor plan and say, show me this room. And it'll show them the picture of the kitchen or pictures of the kitchen. So that's really cool in your virtual tour. You can add links to a YouTube channel, links to the MLS, the listing page, to your website, to a specific website you created for your listing. All of this with Realtor. Let me see if I can get a preview going here.
Sorry, you said, Mike, that we're able to add Realtor, like once we create like that virtual tour, we're able to add it so that it appears to the MLS or any other websites like Trulia or Zillow or
Yep.
any of that?
Yeah, super nice.
Will we have to add it one by one for each, or if we add it to just the MLS, will it show all across to Trulia, Redfin and all that?
I think probably you have to add them individually. And you got to be careful when you add it to the MLS. The MLS has some rules on virtual tours. I think you have to, and so there are, they actually give you options on what you're going to share, which link to use to share in different MLSs. All right, so I don't know if that's going to pull up. You guys have seen virtual tours before, I think. Maybe you have. But that will show you, you just upload your photos and it creates the virtual tour for you. You can pick your music, you pick your template, and you just add your photos. Is it gonna do it here? Okay, I'm not gonna wait. Okay, one other thing. Last thing I'll show you, e-flyers. Remember how back in my first ad, we circled an area and it showed us all the people that live in that area.
Mm-hmm.
In Realtor, I can create an e-flyer. Let's go to this one. I can create an e-flyer. And it can be a video, it can be just pictures. It's got all your contact information, links. When I go to distribution, and again, I'm going to be a little impatient here for your benefit, actually. If I go to distribution, what this does is this allows me to, okay, good. Let's see here, distribution. So that pulled up there's a whole template library for creating your e-flyer. An e-flyer meaning you're going to create a nice flyer that's going to get emailed to agents, okay? To agents, not to people. Well, agents are people too. You're not sending this to the buyers and sellers. You're sending this to agents. So when I click on distribution, you're just going to have to trust me, it looks like. Let's say this is a map. Just like I did, I created that circle. In Realtor, there's a little triangle. I'll draw a triangle over, say, the Katy area. And that gives me all the real estate agents in that area. And I say, distribute my flyer to all the agents in that area.
Oh, wow.
And you can send it to like 2,000 agents for under $20. I mean, it's pretty nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. One little trick around that is to send it like to yourself and then get it and then copy it and then send it to your own distribution list. If you've got the list already, that kind of tricks it a little bit, but this is a great tool to use if you have a little bit of a unique listing, a listing that's had difficulty with showings or selling, then you can send it out. Maybe it's a beach property. Maybe it's something down in Galveston, and you can send that up to show me all the agents in the Woodlands. Maybe those people want to buy a beach house. Send it to all the agents in San Antonio or Austin. or you gotta, so it's great for that unique property or something that's having a hard time selling. So it's not showing you that right now. It's just not doing it. But that's Realtor, gives you a chance to create virtual tours and send e-flyers to real estate agents. That's how I would use it.
Wow.
And when I sign you up, then you get a discount on their stuff. So that's what I wanted to show
Nice.
you guys. I wanted to show you some tools and some resources to help you kickstart your career. And I hope that was
Appreciate it.
helpful.
Thank you so much.
I know, Mike, this is incredible. This is like fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, we learned so much. This is all very helpful.
Well, good. I do not expect you to remember it all.
I have
So
it recorded though. I'm gonna send them the recording so they can go back and watch it
All right.
again.
All right,
I have
good.
a question. So, is Vanda going to be providing you our contact information? Is that how you're going to get us registered? And then are we going to then just get emails sent to us
So,
once you've
yes.
registered?
So I am, let me see here.
You can put it in the chat, maybe.
That's what I was looking for. I'm gonna send you, I'm gonna give you one thing here real quick. Okay, there's my email address and my cell phone number. I am, I'm a little bit of a wizard at finding stuff. Email addresses, phone numbers, but that was very nice of you to put it in there. So if you guys want to put it in there, that's fine. I can get it from Vanda and then I'll get you guys signed up. You will get a series of emails from First American or from Realtor or REI Source. So just keep an eye out for something that looks, I don't want to say strange, but something that you wouldn't normally receive, like something from,
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
I said something close to Siri.
She's listening.
So look for something from like First American Technology or from My First Am or from REI Source, because those will have your login credentials. And that's how you'll use it. All right.
All right, Daria, give him the second one you gave me because I sent the first one out twice and you never got it.
That's so weird. Yeah, I can give it to him again, my other one, because I was able to get the contract successfully to my other one that I provided. So I'm not sure why I didn't get your initial one.
I don't
I
know.
get both of my emails.
All right. Gotcha. So I'm gonna look at, there it is. Samansky or Samansk.
Yeah, well, that was my old maiden. That's my maiden name. Now I'm a Smith.
So my mother married a Smith, Bill.
Oh, nice.
Could there be any more common name than Bill Smith?
Bill
I
Smith.
know, it's so common, right?
All right. So Chicago, Cubs, White Sox.
Cubs.
Okay, cool.
Socks for me.
Oh, really?
Oh man, we're gonna start something here. I didn't mean to start anything here, but all right. Any questions for me before I duck out? Van, I imagine you have some stuff you want to kind of finish up with them without me on here.
Yeah, that's fine. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording and
Thank you.
we can continue on. Daria,